Action. So this is the RTU box that we're sending over. As you can see, it's labeled with the part number, but also the region that it is meant for. The first 85 boxes that we sent were for Dammam. They were not labeled for Dammam. We have subsequently labeled all boxes for what region that they are intended to be used in. Please don't cut the top of the box. There are cables in here. We want to make sure that they're not damaged when we open the box, but we can go ahead and open it from each end. And we'll go through what you're going to get inside. First are updated schematics. Due to some of the changes in the internal wiring of the cabinet. These are the Vlenums that will stick to the cabinet door. There is a packing list, which lists all the parts that it should be in the box, and we'll go through them. I don't know if you can see that, but this is the CAN bus harness. There's one of these in here. This is one harness. This is the harness that you'll connect from the amplifiers to the RTU main board. This is the Motorola radio interface cable. This connects to the front of the radio and to a USB jack on the RTU board. Bag of hardware. These are the screws and washers to mount the RTU main board to the cabinet. Radio power harness. This is going to have to be wired into the cabinet. We'll provide instructions for that, but this is what's going to be used to power up the radio and connect in the backup battery, I believe. Look at that in a minute. We have the coaxial connector, BNC to UHF, quantity of 1. We have the radio to line level in. This is a harness that'll go from the back of the radio to the RTU main board. This is what provides the live voice audio feed from the radio to the main board. Board connector harness. This is a connector or a harness that goes from the power supply board to the relay board. There it is. We have the headphone audio. This is the wiring harness that will now be used to take the audio output from the main board and feed it to the amplifiers. It's one harness. And then we have the RTU main board assembly itself. And again, it consists of the 3 RTU boards, the power supply board, the I/O board, and the control board. It's mounted to the RTU mounting plate. All the fasteners are Loctited, so you shouldn't have any issues of it coming loose during transportation. But that's the full contents of the RTU box.
This is the battery monitoring cable for battery 1 and battery number 2 that will be hooked to the top of the RTU. Now we will hook up your activation control wire to the RTU. I will now hook up the UStat signal wires to the RTU. We will now hook up your live voice audio in to the bottom of the RTU and the very center plug. We will now hook up the audio out to the bottom of the RTU to the far right plug. We will now hook up the radio USB to the bottom of the RTU USB port. I will now hook up the radio ignition sensor to the RTU. I will now hook up the RTU power.